Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 15 of today's class of power. Let me just share my screen. Yesterday, we stopped here. I think the last paragraph we read was when you see your dream car, a happy couple, the perfect body, children, great qualities in a person, it means that you are in the same frequency as those things. Be excited because the excitement is choosing it. So basically, what did we learn from yesterday's class? Just take the entire experience around you. See, that experience also depend, your body is also your experience only. It is outside of your awareness. In the sense, what your sense organs are actually seeing is also sort of outside of you. It is also like an experience that your sense organs are getting. So it's only the mind that is real time. What you see and all of those things are sort of outside. You just think like that. Okay. So when it comes as an advertisement like this in front of you to your sense organs, what is it? How are you going to perceive it? And what is the response you are giving to it is very important. So that is what we were talking about yesterday. Everything in life is presenting itself to you, so you can choose what you love and what you don't love. But only love brings what you want to you. Life's catalog contains many things you don't love. So don't choose them by giving bad feelings. Judge another person and think they are bad, and you bring negativity to you. So, see, many times, right, when we are thinking that we are judging people, we think that, oh, I don't hate them. I don't do so many things. Rather, our perception of judgment or evil or negative is very, very, if it is really bad, then we think it's bad. But there are so many levels of bad. So which means all these emotions are in the same, different frequencies, right? So you need to be aware that even talking about their looks, talking about their choices, talking about the way they are, whatever, carrying themselves, even those are sort of like judgments only. And even if we have to give a feedback, they have to ask us, what is the feedback that, what do you think? What do you think how do you think my dress is? Or how do you think how do you think I need to carry myself? If they asked you, then you give your opinion. But if they are not, and that too with some amount of balance, but then if they have not asked you at all, then just leave them alone, because or unless you are in a teaching capacity or in a they have come to you with some kind of class setup or those kinds of things, then you can advise them. Especially in WhatsApp groups and all that, everybody is on that advising mode, right? Most of the time, if I've seen that in WhatsApp groups majorly, everybody comes to correct somebody else and all of that. Unless you are in that capacity of like a teacher or something like that, it's okay. But then because that relationship has been understood. But then if you are not in that relationship, and especially it's not in your capacity to really talk about others. Even if you think like that, it is whether you talk about it or whether you think about it, you are actually doing the same thing, because your mind has already gone to that level of finishing the emotional step. The emotion, the feeling part has already been completed. The action part was talking about it. So which means you have lost the, what do you say, the bullet has left the gun, right? So we'll have to be so mindful, and because our old habits have been so strong, we just have to keep trying. Sometimes we may pass, sometimes we may not be able to pass, but at least being mindful about it is very important. Judge another person and think they are bad, and you bring the negativity to you. Feel envious or jealous of somebody, some other person, of something another person has, and you will bring the negativity to you while pushing away the very thing you want with a mighty force. Only love brings what you want. So always express happiness, joy for other people, even if they are doing much better than you. Because if you are in a current state, universe is asking, do you also want to be in a much better state? Then you say yes. How do you say yes? By being happy, by showing the happiness that you have for such kind of people that the universe brings in front of you. Let's say you show little happiness to some people and then you show more happiness to some people, then more happiness will actually take precedence because that is a higher energy, right? So it depends on how you are expressing. So if you're doing more and more and more for even for small things, then you will actually start to get more and more even with that energy that you're displaying. So this is the miracle that happens every time to those who really love. The more they give, the more they possess. So if you cannot expect anything from the universe, from the community, until you have already deposited that from your side. So if you have not deposited that, you will not be able to get it back. You may be like today, somebody had contacted me saying that they are not being appreciated at home, or things are not going so well in terms of relationship because that thing is not, that reciprocation is not happening. So it is because we have not done that in the past. How often are we appreciating other people in the house or outside of our house also? How much are we taking the time to appreciate people? You are not spending any money for it, but you still don't take the time to appreciate people for what they do. For example, if people are rather so many things on Facebook or whatever you really like, but we hesitate to even click the like button. We have really liked it. Maybe that has transformed your life, but we really don't take the time to like it and comment on it because we think that that lady anyway will not see us. She'll anyway not notice, oh, there are 1,000 comments already. My comment really does not matter. It really matters, not for them, but for you. Okay, that was just an experience. It was just an advertisement. But for you, the universe is basically seeing, no? How are you responding? You responded there without a comment. Like that only, some people in your house might be eating the food and they may be thinking it's a very good food, but they may actually not be telling it aloud because they are also thinking like that. Every day she's cooking the same thing. So every day me commenting on it really does not matter. Because even you handled the same thing like that on some Facebook or YouTube video or something like that. So always, whether you like it or no, appreciate people for what they are, for what life has given to you. So the more and more you are able to give to life, life will give more back to you. Okay. So that is what is very, very important. So don't expect you to be, you don't have to be perfect even in appreciating. You just have to say your true things about what you actually felt. So even if it can be a voice message, even it can be a text message. If you want people to send you a text message and say appreciate you, send a text message. If you want people to appreciate you orally, you appreciate people orally. So what is it that you want? What is it that you feel like people doing to you? You have to do that more. Okay. And we have lifetimes of quota debt that we have not paid at all. So just because now we start doing that doesn't mean that people will again start appreciating us. It doesn't happen so quickly. Like, for example, I have been a very closed person most of my life until when I came into this kind of educating profession. So only after being in the educating profession, I've been able to see the talent in people, able to basically talk about it, appreciate it and all that. But then what about all that gap that I have not done in the past? I've always been trying to be in the isolation, or even if I've had, friends or something, I used to always see that there used to be always small gangs, even when I'm a big guy. So like I said, I always felt like I was lonely. So I never really opened up in a crowd or something. And it took a lot of time for me to even get to coming like this and talking. Although I used to talk at one-on-one level, talking in a group took a lot of effort from my side to be able to overcome a lot of gaps, overcome a lot of inner blocks, right? So it is not easy for many of us because it has come with a lot of backlogs. But you should do. Now is the time to start investing, right? Which is what investment plans also say, right? You should invest, start now. Rather, whatever you want to do it now. If it is never too late. Okay, so that is this. The law of one, you. So look at this picture. She's looking at the mirror and she's able to see only her reflection. So what does that mean? It only means that whatever your eyes sees, whatever your nose breathes, okay, well, let's not take about the nose. Okay, whatever your eye sees is basically only you are seeing yourself. You are seeing a reflection of yourself. Always. There is a simple formula you can use for the law of attraction that will stand you in good stead with every person, situation, and circumstance. As far as the law of attraction is concerned, there is only one person in the world, that is you. There is no other person and nothing else as far as law of attraction is concerned. There is only you, because the law of attraction is responding to your feelings. There may be, in that Facebook post, there were 1,000 people who were responding, and you felt that you will not be, your comments really don't matter. But the law of attraction is responding to you and your feelings. You felt insignificant, and that is also a kind of response that you gave to the universe saying, I am insignificant. My comments don't matter. I don't have to comment to anything. So all of that also will reflect in your life. Because you're an insignificant person, nobody is going to, rather you will not get that kind of comments back. So it is only what you give that counts. So always be a giver, never a taker. Taker will anyway come, right? Taker in the sense what universe has to give you is a reflection of what you have responded to in the past. In the past means before, as a law, whatever is coming to you is because of your response that has already happened. So there is only you, because of law of attraction is responding only to your feelings. It is only what you give that counts. And it is the same for every other person. So in truth, the law of attraction is law of you. There is only you and there is no other person. For the law of attraction, the other person is also you. And the other person and that other person is you only. And those other people are you only. Because whatever you feel about anyone else, you are bringing to you, right? So when we told about law of attraction is basically giving you advertisements, and then what you respond, you are actually getting it. Now, how did those advertisements even come in the first place, in the first whatever, how did it even come? It is because you have already responded in the past. And some of your responses made the universe think that you want the current ones in front of you, isn't it? So what the book is trying to tell is the entire thing that you perceive around you, the experiences that you see around you is nothing but a reflection of you. Reflection of you means you have given your feelings to it at some point in time. So it is coming back to you right now. How does it come back? It comes back in the form of objects coming to you. It comes back in the form of people coming to you. It comes back in the form of situations coming to you or experiences coming to you. See, we are talking about people in TV, people on the road. Every single thing has been created by you only. Okay, you can think, when did I create all these things? But then it is at some point, your big subconscious mind, your conscious mind is just 5 to 10% of the whole, but we use only that much, right? The brain or the capacity of the mind, only that much we use. We are not able to connect to the subconscious mind. The largeness of our subconscious mind, the capacity is very, very huge. We are not able to connect to that yet, which is what everything, I mean, all of our teachings and everything will lead us to the subconscious kind of thinking. Anyway, so all of these things we only have created. And if you look at people, their behaviors, objects, why do some people have lower quality objects with them? Why do some people have higher quality objects with them? Why do people have less money? Why do people have more money? Why do people have certain relationships? And why are there people in your life? Those people behave very nicely to some other, you're seeing them behave some nicely to some other character, and then they are not behaving nicely to you. Why are all of these differences and all that? It's because of you, your memory only is getting projected onto that. At some point, it is now coming back to you. Okay. So yes, those are definitely different souls and different bodies. But what you see in them as acting, there are, you can think of all of them. It's like you think you are running a movie, and the movies that are happening in front of you have been created in your mind at some point. Okay, somehow your subconscious mind has got that, and then it has now projected on in front of you. Now, what are you seeing? You're seeing your mind's reflection only in front of you. It took a while for it to become physical, and it has now come to you. Now, those are the people who are acting those characters in front of you. They are getting you your own thoughts, your own beliefs. They are acting in front of you, right? So this is something that you have to understand very deeply, that nobody else exists. It is only you. See, when I say nobody, Neha, can you please mute yourself? Yeah. No, when I say nobody else exists, it doesn't mean that nobody else exists. They are there. But what you see is only just you, which is why they say Jagat is Mithya. Mithya means it's not like it does not exist. It's just that what you see is not what you actually see, sort of thing. Means, let's say I see a person being very cunning to me or something. I'm seeing her as a cunning person. But she may actually not be, the character may not be cunning. You have attracted cunningness towards you because of your reality. Rather, she is the character who's now getting that experience to you by law of attraction. So like this, we all play different roles in the community or in the universe. But what I can see, what is my scope of seeing, what am I allowed to see is only my head. You can understand, everybody is playing only my head. My head only has assigned all the characters those roles and responsibilities, the scenes to act, the sentences to tell me, all of that I only have given them. Okay, at some point, that is how it all comes together. And so, but what is the other person seeing? So which means, let's say I am in a bubble, I am in a universe, and I'm seeing only me, all of these things coming to me. Now, what is the other person seeing? Let's say your husband. What is he seeing? He's seeing through his own head. Okay? What my head perceives, what his head perceives are totally different things. You can't compare these two things, because what you see is what only you are supposed to see. What they see is what only they are supposed to see. I really can't go into their universe and peep and see what he is seeing. Okay, that is what is, this whole creation is all about, this whole system is all about, that if you have to learn from your own doing, then you can only see your own doing. You can't see somebody else's doing. I mean, in real, you can't see that truth you can't see. What you can see is just a reflection of you, right? So that is called law of one, which is basically you. What you feel about the other person, what you think or say about the other person, and what you do to another person, you do to yourself. Why did you say such things? Why did you judge somebody else? Why did you become jealous of somebody else? Why are you angry with somebody else? Because of ignorance. You did not know that there is this law called law of one. The law of one says, boss, everybody is you only. So wake up, it's all oneness. That is what is called oneness. Oneness means there is no need for you to see separation, because it's what you are seeing is only you. No need to judge other people. All that you have to do is give love, and give love, so that you can attract and make more and more good movies about from your head. So when you give hate to other person, hate is only going to come back to you, because that is what you are giving. So what did the law say in one of those things? The more you give, the more you will possess, which means the more you give, the more you will get. I told you, right? What you expect, you need to give first. So if you give hate, hate is only going to come back to you. Give judgment and criticism, and you will give it to yourself. Give love and appreciation to another person or anything, and you give it to yourself. There is no other for law of attraction. See, this whole system has been such that if you hit somebody, you will hit yourself. If you appreciate somebody, you will bring appreciation to yourself. So like this, the system is so nicely built that you cannot create harm to anybody, even with ignorance. In that ignorance also, you will basically affect yourself. And that realization will come over a period of time. By the time the realization comes that, oh my God, I'm actually causing harm to myself only and my own growth. By the time we wake up, we have made so many habits that even to get over those habits, we have to practice. Because we have practiced being very good at giving whatever our head says. Now we have this being mindful is an activity by itself. So give judgment and criticism, you will give it to yourself. Give love and appreciation to another person or anything, you will give it to yourself. There is no other for the law of attraction. So it makes no difference if somebody else has what you want. When you feel love for it, you're including it in your life. See, imagine that they are a part of your life and you are this movie director who's running their life also. So in this movie director, when people are acting very, very nicely in your movie, you need to appreciate them. You need to be very happy that my movie is going to make it to the blockbuster or something like that, right? So think like that all the time. That because of that, whatever they are, because of their success, that success is happening in your universe. So which means overall you are also improving. If you see improvement in somebody else's life, it means that you are also improving, because at some point you only gave that kind of a feeling out, right? It is all like a circle. So and with anything you don't love, simply turn away from it without judgment and you won't include it in your life. At some point in time, you had only created this, what you don't like, and you just had sent it out into the universe. But now you're now reading Secret and you're now reading Power and all that. You understand how do you have to behave with the universe. But then your old creations are going to come back and come in front of you at some point. At that time, you need to respond and say, how are you going to treat this in a new way? If you're going to treat it in an old way itself, same pattern will repeat. Okay. There is only yes for the law of attraction. Whether you say no also, that is also yes. Whether you say yes also, that is also yes. We spoke about that in the last few chapters. Turn away from the things you don't love and don't give them any feelings. See, turn away means sometimes you may not be able to, you may be in a group discussion and somebody is literally gossiping or something like that, and you don't really want to hear gossip. At the time, you don't have to generate feelings for that. You just have to hear it or whatever. It doesn't matter if you hear it, but you have to not feel like in movies we cry, and when we add something, we add more sentences to it. Yes, he should not have done that. Why did he do it? Because of that only this happened. See, all that is adding to the mess. Now you're adding, and then you're actually getting, you're contributing to that energy. So you don't have to add anything. You don't have to generate inner feelings of judgment when the gossiping is there. The best part is get away from that place. You can tell that, oh, I need to go for potty or something like that, right? Don't say no to the things you don't love, because saying no also brings them to you. Like I was saying, right? Oh, so there are people who are smoking cigarette in front of you, and then you felt very disgusted and you said, please don't smoke here, please don't smoke here. I mean, that it feels so right, to go and tell them don't smoke here. But then it's best to at least not generate those hateful feelings, frustrating feelings. Why don't people understand kind of feelings? And then collect yourself, come to a happy state or whatever it is, blessing or whatever it is state. And then you can go and just give them a feedback. that doesn't have bad feelings. See, not going and giving a feedback may not be bad, but which feeling are you living in at this state? So that is the bad feelings, and with that feedback is going to, repercussions are different. Good feelings with that feedback is a different repercussion. You can't say no to anything, because when you say no, I don't want that, you are saying yes to the law of attraction. When you say the traffic is terrible, the service is really bad, they are always late, it's so noisy in here, that driver is a lunatic, I've been on hold for so long, you are saying yes to these things, and you are including more of all of them into your life. Turn away from the things you don't love and don't give them any feeling, because they are fine as they are, but they have no place in your life. So it, like so many advertisements come, but you'll click on the advertisement that you want more details, or you want more into your life. Otherwise, you just scroll and then move ahead. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Oh, this is Gandhi's stuff. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil means, again, it is talking about consciously don't see things and generate feelings. Don't hear things and generate feelings. Don't speak evil and generate feelings. See, by the time we speak, right, we would have already had some form of emotion. By the time when we are hearing it, then there is some amount of action involved. Seeing also has some action. So either way, you need to be mindful of the feelings. Instead, say yes when you see something you love. Say yes when you hear something you love. Say yes when you taste something you love. And say yes when you smell you love. And say yes when you touch something you love. It doesn't matter if you have it or not. See, many people, right, they have this habit of, they have cravings, and then they go eat something. Okay, they did not have any control or whatever it is. Let's say they had cravings, and but what happens after they enjoyed, okay, while they're eating also there was guilt, okay, and then even after that it is all bad mouthing. I ate it off, I ate this, that, it had so much of oil, I shouldn't have eaten, it had this, it had that, I shouldn't have done, I did this. So there is so much of negativity being expressed at that level. So see, you know that you are not controlling yourself, or you don't have that level of whatever awareness to not do it, then do it anyway with full awareness. Do it anyway with gratitude. Otherwise, don't do it at all. So if you are not having that self-discipline, and how I have to handle it and give that good feelings and all of those things, don't do it at all. Because doing it and then getting it back into your life with bad feelings, you only have to anyway face the detox and those kinds of things. So all those foods and all of those things that are coming into your experience are giving you an opportunity to grow in some way or the other. You need to be extremely grateful for all the objects, people, situations, and experiences that are coming into your reality, so that they are helping you become a better person. Okay, so don't give negative feelings to anything. Be in some form or the other, generate positive feelings of gratitude. Find reasons to be grateful at all points in time. There are no limits, and everything is possible if you really want it, if you really desire it. There is no lack anywhere in the universe. When people see a lack of anything, it is simply the lack of love. There isn't a lack of health, money, resources, or happiness. The supply is equal to the demand. Give love and you will receive. See, when we say give love, it is not about that, male, female love. Okay, this is more about the goodness, the feeling good that you feel about anything that is in front of you. So that is called love. That is like a law of attraction. So that is what they're talking about. So if you give that kind of energy, that same energy is going to come back to you. Your life, your story. You are creating the story of your life. So what what story are you telling about yourself? So do you believe there are things that you can and cannot do? Is that the story you are telling about yourself? Because that story is not true. See, there are so many stories that we keep telling about ourselves, especially many things like in the collective consciousness. We have always believed that, okay, this body is going to die at some point. So there is always that fear of death that is lurking somewhere in the corner of our subconscious mind. So as we are closer and moving, rather as we are basically moving ahead in our life, even though there is no actually time concept, it is not so linear and all that, we still have a feeling that it is going ahead, right? And we feel that we will age, right? And because of that fear, because of the fear of death that we have, that fear consumes us slowly, and then we die. It is so aging is more about the fear of death that basically kills us, rather takes us to that point. But when people did not have fear of death, they did not know that they will die at all, then that human body is able to survive for a very long time. We have seen that in the past also, right? And there are people who survive for 20 years. There are people who survive for 150 years. Not because they ate some reishi mushroom or something like that. It is not at all that. It is because of their belief system. And that belief system has continued to act in their body, whatever belief system they had. Maybe they had a belief system that, okay, yeah, I've eaten reishi mushrooms. That is why what is that? My lifestyle is going to prolong. Just that is enough for that belief system that, okay, there is a placebo that is going to help me continue, elongate my life. If they've brought that kind of a belief system from one point to another point, then it is going to continue to grow in that family, grow in that lineage, isn't it? So like that, there are so many things that we believe that we can do, we cannot do. For example, like I had a accident some time back, and then I had a fracture and all that. So in my belief system, there is one block which says I had a very what do you say, strong feeling that I had to, rather desire that I had to do a handstand. But and I did practice also for some time. I went and asked people, and after my hand healed and all that, it still doesn't go 90 degrees. Okay, for whatever reason, it doesn't go. I've done a lot of exercise, it doesn't go. So see, there are so much of blocks. So there is some block that says, oh yeah, maybe there was one growth here before the accident. So maybe there is the block which says the growth has not completely gone, the stub is still here. So maybe it is going to come in between. See, all these are in the head. But maybe they will cause, and I did do some handstand work and all that. And I was not able to stand for a very long time. It used to pain. So who knows? Yeah, there may be blocks, inner blocks. And if I desire it so much, then I'll work on overcoming those blocks. But if I'm not having that desire so much, then those blocks will stay. And I will never be able to succeed on that desire. So like that, what is the story that we have about ourselves? Some of us will have a story saying, oh yeah, see, in my younger days, I ate a lot of ghee. That is why I'm always fat. My father used to constantly keep feeding me ghee. That is why I'm always fat. That is a story they tell about themselves. So like that, so many stories we have about our head. Like even after hearing many of these things, right, we have stories about saying, yeah, I know why all this happened, because I ate so many medicines in my young age. That is why my detox is not even happening. There are so many stories we have about ourselves, right? So basically what you have to believe is your mind and body is far more superior than what you put into your mind, what you put into a body or anything. That the alchemy of that, it will alchemize or it will change whatever you put into your body based on your belief systems. So if your belief systems are great, fully positive, then the food will also transform into that state. Okay. See, the food has its own energy also. The food brings its own energy, and it needs so much of work also to digest it or whatever it is. But then your mind and body, if it's able to supersede that energy, if it's able to energize that food in that level also. So there are so many permutations and combinations for what can happen. But here what we are talking about is, do you believe the things that you can and cannot do? Is that the story that you're telling about yourself? That story is actually not true. It is because of your belief system. You think it's true. And many times we will constantly ask somebody and we will want to hear what we believe only is right. Hey, I will go ask, let's say I will go ask somebody else. Hey, even you met with an accident, right? Even you can't do handstand, right? That is why even I can't do handstand. Yeah. See, it's all like trying to make ourselves comfortable that my truth is the truth. There is no other truth. Okay. So there is so much in law of attraction that when you believe something, you will constantly keep getting situations and you will believe what you think only is always right. So it's like a big, you'll constantly be seeing yourself only all the time. Don't listen if somebody says that you are less than anyone else. Don't listen if somebody says you are limited in any way. Don't listen if somebody says you can't do what you love to do and earn a living from it. Don't listen if somebody says you are not as valuable and worthy as the greatest human beings who have lived. Don't listen if somebody says you are not good enough now and you have to prove yourself in life. Don't listen if somebody says you can't have what you love or do what you love or can be what you love. If you believe it, then you put limits on yourself. But most importantly, it is not true. There is not a single thing that is too good for you or too good to be true. See, many times with children, what happens is we create a lot of blocks without even realizing that we are creating these blocks within the children. We create a lot of fears within them. We create a lot of boundaries, rules, that you need to get marks in school, or you need only if you do this, that is when you will succeed. Only if you do this, that is when you will. So none of these are true. But if you continue to just be an observer and just give them the love that they want, what research also says is, especially with children, if you are able to just be there for them and just create an environment where they are having the best, they can see their best. Okay, they can witness their own best. It's not because you are pushing them towards your best. It is because they are pushing them to their own best. They are in the state where they are always loving themselves. They believe themselves. They are able to connect to themselves. So if that is happening more and more, they don't have to believe the world to validate what they think. Like today, somebody was saying, right? Today, what were they saying? Yeah, I think that only. They want others to appreciate. They want others to do these things. They want others to feel good about what they are doing. Why is this seeking for validation? Because they feel they are not complete. Because in the childhood, they would have got a feeling that only if you do this, you will be loved. Let's say they get a fifth rank or something like that. Then they would have told you can do better. You can do better is also a statement which says this is not good enough. But actually the parent's intention was, you have a far more greater potential within you, but you can do more. But the message that goes as per law of attraction is to that person, because you see, we are working with our own selves, right? The world is a reflection of ourselves. So when we say you can do better than this, or improve yourself or something like that, we are bringing more and more situations to ourselves, because we are responding from a place of lack, but not from a place of abundance. From a place of abundance, how do you respond? You can say, this is brilliant. For whatever you did, this has reflected in exactly an amazing thing for you. I'm sure it is keeping you happy. I'm sure I am happy for you. You have done a great job. That's enough. Because there is no child, there is no somebody else, it's all you only, right? So why shouldn't you really put your heart out and just appreciate instead of basically thinking about the future? Because of because of ignorance, we are thinking about the future. Now, when we are not ignorant, when we are in that empowered state with knowledge, we are just going to keep appreciating. Whether the child has failed also, it's okay. You have to appreciate in some form or the other. Because that is what you want. You want to feel good. So you need to give that feeling good feeling irrespective of the situation, which is what law of attraction is saying. If you believe it, you put limits to yourself. But if importantly, it is not true. There is not a single thing that is too good for you or too good to be true. The force of love says, wherever you give, you receive back. Sorry, whatever you give, you receive back. Does not say you're not good enough. Okay. See, this not good enough is basically like a comparative statement. So you don't have to compare yourself with anybody because nobody else exists. What you are seeing is a reflection of yourself, some different variations of yourself, something that you have created at different points in time. So the force of love says, give love for whatever you want to be, do, or have, and you will receive it. Okay. So always just give good feelings to the world, because that is what you actually want to receive all the time. So constantly keep giving good only to the world. Even if you don't like it, practice to give good to the world. Does that say you are not good enough? You are worthy and deserving just as you are. You are good enough right now. If you feel you have done something that wasn't right, understand your realization and acceptance of it. Acceptance of it is absolution for the law of attraction. See, you don't have to go to that person and try to fix it. It doesn't work like that. If you fix that in your mind, if you come to that state of acceptance, if you come to the state of realization and all of those things, automatically your circumstances will change. That is the beauty of law of attraction. You may have had a very bad relationship with somebody, but you are working on yourself here, and that relationship is automatically getting fixed. And we have seen this in many of our magic exercises and all that. No, many people have done magic with us, and you have practiced a whole lot of magic. You've practiced a whole lot of writing gratitude and all of those things. And you've seen these things changing in your life with your parents, with your families and relationships and money and job and all of those things, right? Like yesterday, Purnima was saying that she got a job. In the beginning of Power Chapter, she had not got a job. She was actually, she was surrendering, but she had not completely surrendered and all of those things. And then I had told her, you continue to write gratitude and all of those things. So she went and did it. Then she got a job. She also came and shared in this class. So all of how was she able to attract new jobs for herself where she was not able to in the past? Because that is law of attraction responding to her. Today, she's able to understand the law and use the law for her benefit. Rather, she's aligning with the law. If she does not align with the law, she is generally doing whatever she wants. She's only unhappy with whatever she wants, isn't it? So it's all about alignment. The real world. In the beginning, there were only probabilities. The universe could only come into existence if someone observed it. It does not matter that the observers turned up several billion years later. The universe exists because we are aware of it. See, this is more about now. See, we all have heard, oh, you need to be in the present. You don't have to go to future. Future does not exist. Past does not exist. All of those things we've heard about it, right? So what does it actually mean? It actually means that everything is happening in the now. I don't know whether I shared it in this class or some other class. So I was supposed to respond to some message. Okay, it's like some message. No, I think the message was there and I got some idea. Okay, and then I wanted to go and respond to that message, and I was doing something else. And as soon as at that time, as soon as I felt like telling that, I was trying to jump and come and tell that, instead of focusing on completing what I was already doing. What this quote says is, if you are not if you're not putting your energy focus there, that is not actually happening at all, which means that is not running, which means that that part of the universe is standstill. There is no activity happening there at all, because you have not put energy there at all. We think, we have this perception that there's a past, present, and future. My friend is waiting for me in the campus, or something else is, Dudwala is on his way. All of that, whatever it is in your head, it is only in the head. That is why they say the past is not there, the future is not there. Only be in the present. Be in the present means only the present is happening, because that is where your focus is, and that is where the energy is flowing. Wherever the energy is flowing, there creation is happening. So universe is getting created. Otherwise, there are only probabilities. Probabilities means it could happen. Until you give your focus, it has not happened. Okay. So until you are putting your observation to it, it has actually not got created. That is what this astrophysicist is saying. See, many of these people, right? Einstein, Nikola Tesla, many of these highly superhuman kind of people were very spiritual in nature, because over a period of time they had become so creative that they were able to, that creative, in the process of that, it had become very a meditative experience for them to do many of their experiments and all that, right? So whole day they would be in experimentation mode. So which means whole day they are in meditative mode. They are like stripped off from the world, and they are like sort of in that now moment all the time. So they are able to connect to higher consciousness, their own self, very, very easily over a period of time. And that is why the realization that my own discoveries and experiments or innovations are nothing but something that came through me, that realization they all have. And see, such kind of statements you can't expect from a scientist. The scientist is very much in science, which is a very limited concept compared to metaphysics. So if he's able to talk like this, it means that he's already become so self-aware about many things. Okay, so he has gone a lot further than just being a physicist. I want to take you behind the scenes of the world you see, because much of what you see is not as real as you may think it is. A few adventurous steps into the invisible will change the way you look at the world, and it will set you free to receive an unlimited life. Yeah, so now she's going to talk about what she thinks, right? Most of the things you may currently believe about the real world are not true. You are much more than you may realize. Life and the universe are much more than you may realize. You may think there is a limited amount of things in the world. You may think there is a limited amount of money, health, resources, but that isn't true. For example, many people with cancers and all believe that, oh, this cancer is very huge. It will not go away from my life so easily. Or I have to do X, Y, Z. It will take a long time. It is all a belief system, because that is a limited mindset that they have. They have a limited belief system. That limited belief system is acting on the body and keeping those problems inside them. So what the book is saying is, it is just about the belief system. So you need to just think that whatever you're experiencing in your life is a reflection of your belief system. There is no lack of anything. Quantum physics tells us there is an infinite planet. There are infinite planet Earths and infinite universes that exist, and we move from one reality of planet Earth and a universe to another every fraction of a second. This is the real world emerging through science. I don't know how much science will be able to talk about it, because it can only come through when you are in a higher state of consciousness. Of course, many people who are meditators or who go to that level of, see, for example, just take very simple things. When we are asleep, our astral body basically just separates and then it goes around to other dimensions and all of that. How is it that it's able to go around when we are able to sleep here? It is because it is a it's like light energy. It's able to travel at that speed. It is able to travel across dimensions. But can we travel? We can't even travel to space. We can't even travel to the moon without even training. We can't even travel to the water without learning to swim. That is our state. So like that, there are so many different, see, for example, if I say there are other frequency, there are other people or other beings with different frequencies who may be around here. I can't see them because my eyes are only trained to physically, my eyes, the amount of energy that I am connected to is I'm able to see only, let's say, a certain range of frequencies. My book and this and that are all in that range. That is why I'm able to see only that range. But what about all the other, maybe there are some people who are, let's say, able to see higher frequency objects. Then they can see, oh yeah, I can see something there. There are so many people, right? I've seen so many people who say, oh, I've seen my dead cats. I've seen my ancestors. I've seen this, I've seen that. They tell so many things. Are they imagining it? No, they're not imagining it. It's just that they're able to perceive a different set of frequency also.
Smita, can you please repeat why does it happen?
Munmun, can you please not shock me like this? And it's better that you ask questions in the end. Note down the question, because for me that
Sorry. I was asking you to repeat because some call came. I cut it and I missed that thing.
It's okay. You can just I don't know what you missed, so it will be difficult for me to
about the cat dream, like you were telling, no?
Basically, what I'm trying to tell is there are other our eyes can only perceive a certain frequency. So if we are not able to see things around me, that doesn't mean that things don't exist. So when we say there are people who can go to Mars doesn't have life and all of that, that is because we are seeing Mars as a physical object. But when you see it as an energetic at a higher frequency level, maybe there are people in Mars also, but I may have to vibrate at a different frequency to basically see them. So there are so many such different possibilities that are there in the cosmos and the universe, but you should be open to many of these kinds of things to be able to for that to be able to come into your reality so that you can actually experience it, because our subconscious mind is able to tap into that universal set of possibilities, but we can't perceive it because our conscious mind only has a limitation. Okay, so here they are saying that there is no lack. There are so many infinite universes, infinite parallel realities, and all of those things that exist, but we are not able to consciously understand that yet. That is why people have to become lighter and lighter. The body has to shed a lot of junk. Then the denseness has to go down. So many of these things, how does it happen? Like today I was actually talking about that, right? How do we make our body lighter and lighter and lighter? There are so many possibilities. First of all, we are seeing that it all happens through the mind, isn't it? It's all about the mind. But we are not able to tap into that mind or able to control that mind at that level. So what we have to do, we have to be able to control it at a food level, because every single food also has a certain frequency that it has to operate. Let's say now I think I have already discussed that Earth is also going to a higher level of frequency. She's like a rocket ship. She is basically going higher and higher. So if she is going higher, she's also taking us also into that higher state. Now, let's say if she's in Delhi at one point, and then eventually she is going to go to, no, I'll not talk like that. Okay, let's say Mount Everest. Okay, if I'm in, let's say, base of Mount Everest. Now let's say Earth has gone to the middle part of Mount Everest. Now what is happening there? Oxygen levels are less comparatively. Now, if I'm not able to wake up and able to balance that energy shift, then what will happen? I'll be able to see the difference. Earth was expecting me to, let's say, Earth, let's say, is in 100. I'm just giving a hypothetical number. Earth is, let's say, at 100. If I am also supposed to at least be at 100, then I'm going at the same speed as her and I don't see any problems. But now let's say Earth is at 100, but I am in 10 because I refused to play along with law of attraction or laws of oneness or whatever it is. I'm not in that. I'm ignorant because of our years of conditioning or something. We are, let's say, ignorant. So what will happen? How will that 100 minus 10 difference be met? Through diseases. Because you have collected that much of toxins inside the body because of lack of awareness, because of confusion, because of whatever mind, because of all of those things. All the food also that went into the body did not get digested. All of those things have happened because of lack of light energy, that much of light energy. That much of diseases have got accumulated. Why I have only stomach disease, why I have only colon, why I have eye disease, why I have that depends on various permutations and combinations of how your belief systems are playing out. So that is a big science and big mystery altogether, which I am also not great at. Okay, so we just have to think that somehow it is coming out. But now, let's say if I have to get out of that disease, I need to be able to jump to 100 as fast as possible. Rather, I need to bridge that gap. So I should be able to save 90 somehow. So how do we save that 90? Rather, how do I bridge that gap? 100 minus 10, 90. How do I bridge that gap? By let's say doing foods which have already a lot of high energy. That is one way. Another way, let's say people don't even know about food. Now what they do, they'll probably sit and meditate, like literally meditate without connecting with the other world, this, that, whatever. Let's say they are become very serious in meditation. They'll sit and meditate for, let's say, 6 hours, 7 hours. There also, maybe they are going to slowly start bridging up that gap. Maybe every day, 5, 5, 5, 5, they are bridging up. Here also a person who's doing, let's say, juices, fruits or something like that, they'll be able to bridge that gap. But let's say you say, no, I'm going to continue to keep eating animals. I'm going to continue to keep eating dairy or drinking dairy and eating fish and all of those things. Then you will continue to keep that gap much higher and higher and higher. So what will happen? You will face a lot more problems as the gap starts widening and widening and widening. Over time, your body will not be able to catch up. That soul will have to leave this body and go, which is called death. So basically, you need to be able to use your mind. Now, let's say person did not do meditation, he did not do this. He should be able to understand what is this 90 that is basically giving me this problem. The body is anyway trying. Body has its own intelligence, right? It is basically trying to shed stuff out. So somehow that light energy has to come in. And you should be in alignment with bridging that gap of 90. And how do you bridge that gap of 90? By also being in that zero resistance state, which is basically being allowing mode, not being angry, not hating people, no judgment, just giving love. Like, let's say doing 10 hours of gratitude and generating like feelings for 10 hours, right? So you are bridging gap there also. Why? Because you are able to generate more and more feelings. And those feelings are nothing but energy. They are like fuel. Now you are going to go as a small rocket so that you will go and stand next to Mother Earth, right? She's going at 100 and then you will go in a faster speed and then you'll go and bridge that gap faster. So somehow you should be able to bridge that gap. You can do, let's say, meditation for some time, 4 hours of meditation, 5 hours of gratitude, and also do juices. Then what will happen? Here little you'll get, here little you'll get, here little you'll get, you'll be able to somehow bridge. So it's all a play of energy. So it's all a play of energy. But if you continue to keep doing animal stuff and not changing yourself, and you are not able to bridge that, see, it's all, we cannot be hurting animals, and we cannot be, we cannot be basically using or depending on the animal community for long, okay? Because we are leaving that duality world and we are going ahead, and where animals also will have a life like us. That we are going to a state where we are not depending on anything, including plants. Okay, we are going to that state over a period of time. I mean, it's going to probably take a few 100 years, but we are going to that state. And we will definitely see these shifts faster and faster, because in the past, we could not sense that much faster because of the density was very huge. But now the density is reducing and reducing and reducing, right? So you need to be able to think what you want to do for yourself. There are various ways of bringing energy, saving energy through the mind, through your lifestyle choices and all of those things. But how you do it is your choice. There is no one single method to do it. But we have to use food and do it to some extent. We have to definitely do lifestyle choices, because food will go off over a period of time. You cannot depend on food for a very long time. You need to be able to practice this with your lifestyle, with your mind. Mind is the key. With every journey, when you're constantly going forward, the food choices that you have will continue to keep changing. So the same foods may not be there with you, which was there yesterday. So what should you do? You should not depend on them so much. So much of attachment should not be there. Just say keep by, just use them, say bye and go. But because over a period of time, plants also will not be there with you. All that you have to do is you have to practice living on solar energies over a period of time. So it's a very, very long period ahead. But then that shift is going to happen. Provided you are aware about it, you will be mindful about your own things, and then you'll be practicing it. Why is Power Book coming now? Everybody is talking about Bhagavad Gita. Everybody is talking about yoga. Everybody is talking about all of these good stuff. People are turning vegan, right? People are eating healthy. Why all of these things are happening? Because that is the kind of awareness that happens when the energy shift happens. Okay, so we are sort of moving towards a something like a Satyayug state. Okay, the Satyayug is anyway in your head, but still that kind of state we are going to, where there is absolutely no eating kind of thing. It's only basically breatharian kind of lifestyle and those kinds of things. Okay, but yeah, it takes time. But today you will have to wake up and go there. You can't continue to be in the same lifestyle as you were, or continue to keep wanting to go back to the same lifestyle as you were. If you want to keep going, let's say, for example, if you want to continue to be at 100 by eating the foods that you are that you were eating in the past, you need to be able to understand how you'll bridge that gap. For example, let's say if animals are draining you 50 times, 50 counts, they are draining you. You should be able to make that 50 somewhere else. If you're not able to make that 50 somewhere else, then you will definitely be affected, right? So it is about that drain that is there in the human body, in the mind level. So are we good at balancing energy so well? Do we even understand that well? I mean, I'm giving a hypothetical number, but I also don't know how to balance at that level. So what is safe? What is easy? Do that. What I do a lot of raw, plus I do a lot of gratitude, plus I do a lot of practice in my daily lifestyle. I'm trying to do everything that comes to my awareness as much as possible. Why? I don't want to basically take anything for granted. I'm just being a good student, that's all. So everybody have to just be good students and we are getting that knowledge, right? Through the universe, we are getting all this knowledge so that you can practice. If you are not practicing, this is a big waste only. Try. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to try. In our universe, I'm just going to stop here. So. Okay, I'll not do daily teachings here because I think it's going to take time. So, any questions?
Yeah. Hi, Smith.
Yeah, Anita. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anita.
Yeah. Thank you, Smita, for another wonderful session. Today, I did not realize that 1 hour has passed.
Yeah, even I didn't realize.
Yeah. So it's like amazing, wonderful. And every day it's like you push us, reminding us, for the best of practices and, the things to do in life day to day. I'm very thankful for that. My question is, like you said, unknowingly, before we are enlightened with all this power, books, secret, whatever, Bhagavad Gita and all, we all would have done mistakes, like being judgmental to people, being, participating in gossips, charts, talking ill about others or commenting about others. So is there a way, like you all made us practice how to write blessings, how to seek your desires, how to manifest? So is there any other way where you can also apologize the universe, for making our mistakes unknowingly, when you are in that raw stage where you don't know what is good, what is bad, just because 10 people are doing, 10 people are gossiping about something, you also just participate in that and say something, talk ill about others or whatever it is. So what is the way out, to
See, what you don't know, you don't have to worry about it. There are so many things that you're still participating in that you may not even be aware it's wrong or right or whatever it is. Rather, you're still doing it. So if something feels right to you, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. But for things that you feel that you shouldn't have done it in the past, don't be guilty about it either. Because at that time when you did it, you enjoyed it. No, you enjoyed it. You were in full awareness that it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So in this current level, you don't have to go and judge your past also. You don't have to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
But that energy has been generated. Rather, those belief systems have been generated, right? So giving gratitude for it is the highest energy that you can replace that with.
Okay, like say simple things, 3-4 ladies standing, oh my god, see how she dressed up, how she's behaves here, the common things which happens in our society, that is quite common, and I'm openly admitting it. I'm also a part of it once upon a time. So I'm also trying to learn from my mistakes, and I'm openly admitting it to you because we are in the learning process. So
see, what is best here is we learned this law of one. So all those ladies are nothing but your own reflection. So when you go and tell them, rather you don't have to be very rude or something, because again, rudeness is going to come back to you. You try to find a way to be nicely giving a response back to the universe, to those ladies, and then just slow it down or tone that gossip down or get away from that.
That's
because again, you have to be mindful about what you're giving out also.
True. Thank you
You
so
don't
much.
need to think, oh, will they feel bad and all that. Again, that's in your head only.
Most of the
you
times
think they'll feel bad, they will definitely feel bad, because that is what you're giving out.
I try to change the topic or shift the focus on something else, something where we could really talk good about or something like that.
So basically just be mindful that you are the only one, and you are a master, you are a creator, you are like, there is nobody else who's watching you. You don't have to be worried about anything, those kinds of things. You don't have to be so conscious. You just keep doing the right thing and just keep going on and on.
Okay. Yeah. And the second thing is last week, one of the assignment was giving blessings. So when I'm writing blessings, I just have a doubt that can we give blessings to the elderly people, like who are elder to us? Because normally in our South Indian way of this thing, normally we always bless the, younger than us, like the kids who are younger than us, the people who are younger than us. But bless others. Can we write? Is suppose if my mom or mother-in-law, they have a health breakdown, can I bless them?
See, when you say blessings, let's say you
Yeah.
are blessing your children, what do you think you're doing?
See, I bless them.
Who are
bless
you?
I'm as a parent, I give blessings.
No, why should you as a parent, why should a parent give blessing? What is
For
blessing? Energy. Now, what
sending
is
some
this extra
positive
energy that
vibes.
this parent has?
You're just in sync with the universe, generating that
technically,
frequency.
Basically, what was the entire thing behind blessing was, when your people were aware that there was a higher source of energy within each and every person. So when you bend down and greet up, when you're bending and saying namaskara or something like that, it is basically you're doing namaskara to the God within them, or that supreme source energy within them. It's not the body.
Okay.
So over time, it got constructed to body, ego, superiority, those kinds of. Okay, it is more a made up. All of this, I should not bless them, they should not bless me. All that is a made up construct, conditioned belief systems. But the Sanatana Dharma says that it is all about the inner supreme source of whatever. So anybody can bless anybody because we are actually at the same source level only.
Okay.
You don't have to, if you think that it is, see, at your level, you can continue to keep doing.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. In your head, it has to be very clear that I can bless anybody because it's the divine wisdom within me, the divine whatever instrument within me is, or you can believe that I am just tapping that supreme creative force or creation ka force or that supreme energy. I'm requesting the supreme energy to basically send blessing down to that person kind of thing.
Okay.
Again, who are you blessing? Your own self.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Smita. Yeah.
Asha, you had a question?
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, see, this earth moving to higher frequency and all that, that's again a belief system, right? That may be just something that I have created. How do we know it's true? And also are all these planets and all the heavenly bodies, do they really exist, or it's again just our creation, right? Just like everything else, they are also just a creation of our mind, right?
Yes, it is all a construct of the
How
mind.
do we know that that it is ascending or those
See,
kind of
many
things?
of these things are basically they exist. Like, for example, the trees and the plants and all of those things are not our creation. It is already there on earth. But what is our creation is what we see. Like, for example, you see something, I also see something, but we have two different opinions about that, right? So that changes person to person. But when a person sees a coconut tree and a leaf looks like this, the leaf is like that. There is no change there. Like, everybody sees a coconut tree, right? So there are certain things that are already there. There are certain things that is a mithya. Mithya means it is a belief system based thing. Yeah, when you talk about earth moving and all of those things, yeah, it could be a belief system. It could be a belief system. We don't have to believe it. But we don't have to believe it. At least I'm believing it.
So the fact, so are you saying that what we see with our eyes, and if it's existing for everybody in the same way, then it is there? Is it like that?
Many things like these planets and all of these things are definitely in as a part of creation. That is not mithya.
So that is not
Earth
created.
is not mithya, moon is not mithya, sun is not mithya.
Yeah. So these are not created by us.
No, we have not created it.
So
They
it
are
is
also
created along
souls.
with us. Huh?
They are also a part of that higher creation.
Okay.
It's like it's there are certain things which are very, very personal to you, right? What you experience on a day-to-day basis, I don't experience on a day-to-day basis. What you experience on a day-to-day basis, your son or your husband is not experiencing on a day-to-day basis. That is your creation.
I mean, it gets a bit confusing in the sense like, where do you put your energy in? Like, let's say you see, people are seeing animals are suffering, for example. So is that again a mithya or not?
If
Or
you
is it
see,
actually
let's say
happening?
somebody is killing and somebody is killing a cow in front of you, you have attracted that in front of your thing. But then now that you have attracted it, what is the right way to do it? Possibly go and tell him, don't kill. You may not feel it right in your whatever consciousness to say, oh, I will turn away my eyes, let them do whatever they want. That may not be right as well. You have to go stand up for what you can. But then let's say in the world, somebody somewhere is killing something. You talking about it now is just bringing more and more such news to you. That is again your creation only. Who knows whether that is happening? That news is again your creation. It takes
About
some
it,
amount
maybe.
of thinking. It takes some amount of self, whatever, that kind of sitting and introspecting many of these things. Yeah, of course, if you kind of continue to in Bhagavatam, many things like this have been already explained. In Bhagavad Gita, if you talk about Vishwarupa Darshana, what does Vishwarupa Darshana mean? It's not about Krishna here. Krishna is just a representation of the collective conscious, or that supreme consciousness. So when he says, look, Arjun, this is the Vishwarupa, it means that everything in creation is coming from the same source energy.
Yeah.
Right? So, and what Arjun saw inside that was his own creation, rather his own, whatever, his people, his this, his that, and all that. What he had known, what his memory was able to perceive, he was able to see that, or what he recognizes, he was able to see. Let's say he knows about gods, he was able to see gods. What his memory does not know, I'm sure he wouldn't have been able to see that at all. Or let's say, assuming he saw what basically, when we talk about Vishwarupa in today's lifestyle, every single person around you is basically a reflection of yourself, which is you seeing in that context, you seeing yourself, you seeing that whole supreme consciousness split into multiple points. Like if I'm looking at Vishwarupa, I'll probably look at all of these people in Zoom as different portions of what Arjun saw. Let's say if I'm Arjun, I'm able to see all of these things in the Vishwarupa. I'm able to see this bottle. I'm able to see this phone. I'm able to see one sweater here. I'm able to see my chairs and tables and all of those things. Everything is a part of that Vishwarupa only. So basically, everything is just collective consciousness. It's all one. Even if you think it's your creation, it's not your creation. It is all coming from the same source. So whether it is your creation, whether it is other people's creation, instead of even getting to that level of detail, why do they give that kind of detail? Just to say that at least you will be kind to yourself, you will love yourself. But if we are not used to loving ourselves and we are not able to being kind to ourselves, then there's no use about telling everything is one. Instead of that, just say, okay, we will teach gratitude and say, hey, be grateful for whatever people have given you. Like what money has come to you, what this has come to you, that has come to you. That is why gratitude plays a very important role. If we are able to constantly keep doing gratitude in our life, then there will come a point when that automatically that gratitude towards the creation will start. We cannot connect to a bigger thing that we are not able to even understand and comprehend unless we are able to give our contributions to something that we can relate to, which is that, let's say, I'm very grateful for my phone for whatever it's doing. At some point, let's say I'm not even getting feelings when I'm telling gratitude to this phone, because I've not done enough gratitude for the phone, which means I'm still in negative balance. Over time, that feelings will come. I'll be so thankful for this phone at some point. Then, which means at least I've come to neutral level. Then over time, I'll, let's say, get into a love state with this phone. So how much is there in our life for us to pay respects and then come to positive state in every single level? Then automatically that state of oneness will come inside our head. It is a very high state. Whatever Rhonda is explaining, a law of one, is a very high state. We know that only in theory. Even I know that only in theory, because I have also not gone to that state where I can perceive oneness. Like at some point when I was talking to Prabodh Master, or when we were attending his classes, he was saying that I'm working on to understand the law of oneness. He is already an enlightened person. What is it that he is not able to, what is it that he can't see yet? We don't know, but he was telling that, which means he should see himself in everything. Now he maybe at one point everybody will understand that, oh, I am a soul. Everybody else is a soul. But seeing Asha in everybody and being able to relate to everything in a very nice and kind and all that is a very high state. And we are not there yet because our fundamentals are not done yet. We are still in class number 1. We have to reach class number 10 for that. So how do we get there? Forget about all this theory. You don't have to believe anything also, because again, what you can't apply today, you don't have to know. But what you can apply today, you definitely believe it, practice it. And if you're able to do that, then your inner consciousness will able to automatically take you to that growth. For me, at least at a theoretical level, that awareness has come. But over time, practical also will come. Because before practicals, theory will happen. So if theory has not happened to you yet, or if it's now coming to you, let it be there as seeds. You don't have to believe it. But someday it will sprout. So, yeah, like I said,
Oh, yeah. It's the
we
same
don't have to
with
believe
everything in
everything
life.
that we hear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let it be there. Somewhere it will be there. This message is coming to you for a reason. You're in this class for a reason, some law of attraction. So it is there. Maybe at some point when the energies and all that match, it will probably sprout. But before that, what is it that you are able to relate to, either in the magic class or in the power class, that you can apply.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, Smita, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You always speak about our earth is going to the higher dimension.
Hey, we just spoke about that.
Matlab, is it the same thing like Satyug is going to come back, as you said?
Hey, actually, you know what? When I heard, the way Bhagavad Gita says what is Satyug and what is Kali Yuga and all of those things at a very high level, it is all in your mind. And basically, Earth going to a higher level is not about Earth going from Earth to some other place, which is, let's say, on top of the sky or something. That is not what we are talking about. We are talking about higher level of perception, higher level of awareness. Okay, there are so many people here on Earth. If you can see, let's say, whose example shall I give? Let's say Sai Baba. Okay, I'm just giving an example. He is physically not here. But let's say Sai Baba is alive. Okay, then there were so many things Sai Baba was able to do. Correct? Or let's say Jesus. Or let's say Krishna, Rama, they were able to do something or the other. If you compare yourself to them, what do you see as the difference?
The difference of the perception, thought, everything, they are
that is only called
Hmm.
Kali Yuga to Satya Yuga. That is only called earth moving from one level to another level.
That means the perception of every soul will change.
Yes.
Is it like that?
Yes. See, why did, I mean, this, according to the books and according to many people who channeled, the earth went into a lower state because as a collective, we all started thinking at a lower level. We all started hating each other, judging each other, separating from each other. That became very huge on earth. So when that collective energy became huge like that, she was just reflecting what the people was reflecting. But now people are waking up, so that collective is also changing. And there are many other forces also, like sun and other things also. They are also giving a lot more contribution to these kinds of things. So anyway, that's a different story. So, but for you to understand, it's not about going from 0 kilometers to, let's say, 30,000 level feet or something like that.
Okay.
It's all in the mind.
But as it is said by everybody that Kali Yuga has just started. Just started means the perception or the point of view or whatever the cruelty and enemy, what to
See,
say,
if you look at
badness is increasing in the people because this is just the starting they are saying.
Now, do you see so much of cruelty as what was there in the past?
No.
See,
yes.
Where do you see so much? Do you see people getting raped every now and then, and ladies being pulled everywhere and gone? No, people are, we see ladies walking on the streets and doing their stuff these days. Is it that bad? In the past, people were getting kidnapped. Rather, they would just take away ladies and go away. Take Draupadi's period only. Who helped her? That was a period. Those are called, that was almost the end of Kali Yuga. It was actually happening. Rather, it was beginning. These days, we are in great periods. Yeah? Look at how many fruits and vegetables you have. At least I see a lot of fruits and vegetables. So which means I see a lot of goodness around me. Literally, I see a lot of goodness around me. So, which is what do you see? So it is all about law of attraction. What world, what yuga are you attracting to yourself?
Okay.
So
see, Kali Yuga and Satya Yuga, everything is in our mind.
Yes. We all go from that level of being very, very bad kind of person to a very nice, good kind of person. We are traveling in that direction, right? We are sort of slowly traveling as a collective. We are traveling in that direction. So that is why they say Satya Yuga is coming, this is coming, that is coming. But yeah, it is all in somebody's books. It has been written. But what do you perceive? If you perceive goodness, then that is the consciousness that you are already. But physically, we may all be together. Physically, I can see an enlightened master also in the same level. I can see a person who is probably having consciousness in the 5th dimension also in the same physical reality. But mentally, where he is, we don't know, no? Mentally, where are you? Mentally, we all may be in 3. Mentally, let's say somebody who is already in that state may already be in 5. Or maybe somewhere in between. So it is all about the mind. Where are you? What kind of belief systems do you have? What is your connection with the source energy? Are you fully entrusting with the source? Are you fully thinking that everything is me only? I mean, I had done that video, no? 6 levels of consciousness. You can see that once.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so shall I close the call? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Smita, just one last question.
Sorry,
I think it's over.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No problem.
So I mean, it's not related to today's session. How did Rhonda get all this knowledge? Was it like instantaneous, like how
Mhm.
Eckhart got it or something like that?
See, some of these things, because we are not her friend or family or something, we may not be able to get that kind of information. But Anita and I were discussing about this as well. What I personally believe is such kind of things will not come just like that. You can't read other books. Yeah, definitely she read. It's not like everything. See, we get ideas because of somebody else's creation, right? Ideas come. Something comes into your experience, and then that triggers so many seeds that were already inside you, subconsciously inside you. So what I personally believe is she may have read some book, but it is all based on her experience. She eventually was able to generate this from within her. Maybe I'm sure small books here and there. Maybe while she was talking to people, also ideas came. I'm sure it came to her through various sources and all of that. But when she started writing it, I'm sure it came through her only, because otherwise she would have landed up in a copyright issue, right? And it wouldn't have sold into millions and millions like this.
She's not a channel, no? I mean, she's not a medium, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
See,
But
many
the thing is, it's the same message in many books, right? So
it is
for a
definitely the same
skeptical,
message in many books. It is
yeah, I
definitely the
mean,
same message. Like I said, the message, she has definitely seen this in from various sources, and then she has practiced it, and then she was able to give that out as in the form of a book or whatever it is. But definitely, I don't think there are copyright issues, those kinds of. She has not copied it from anywhere, because these are all universal concepts, and we have plenty of books on similar topics. But at least
yeah,
in this
that's
series,
what I wanted to say. These are universal topics. So for a skeptical mind like what I have, so it rings
yeah.
true every time you read more about the same thing in different books.
So who attracts these books? They need this kind of sentence, and they are matching with that book's energy. Somebody else may not even be attracted to secret, but they may have got the same knowledge through something else.
Yeah.
So it is about we are able to match the frequency of these books, and then we maybe for us we have to learn from these books only. Everything that exists has already been created. It is just that we are shopping it with our law of attraction.
Thanks, Mita.